Hey, how's everybody doing? It's your boy Sophisticated Jerk, and today I want to do this topic that I was recently having some discussions on some panels and stuff, and I was just telling them, I was like, "Hey, man, tricking is a mental illness, and women pretty much put guys in categories when they first meet them and stuff. So, they typically they'll have the guy that friend zone, then they have the guy that's like, he's all right, he could possibly grow on me, I could possibly settle for him, but he has to buy his way into me getting with him and stuff. So he's got to spend that bread. He's got to jump through hula hoops. And then they got the guy that they are actually attracted to. And that's the guy that they'll go on walks in the park. They'll go to the coffee shop. They'll do the low kind of like costly things, and they typically that would be the path of least resistance with those guys. So a lot of men, I'm seeing that they don't want to accept these things because they might fall into the category either friend zone or the guy that got to pay. So they refuse to listen to these dynamics. But I was telling them, I'm like, hey man, a lot of women on these good. This is the thing about social media. A lot of people are being frank about stuff, and a lot of females are vocalizing, the different levels of treatment that they give different guys and stuff. Like they always say, they're like, man, women will break rules for the guys that they like and shit. But, even then, they still don't want to accept the thing. So that's why I love videos, man, because, it kind of gives that background. It's like, shit, we ain't got to keep lying to ourselves. We can just listen to what people say. And this is an opportunity where it's like, man, it's like, put that work in. Because the reason why I think like tricking is a mental illness, because if women have that breakdown and they have the categories, and they're pretty much telling you like, hey, if I really like you, yeah, I'll spend money on you. I'll be willing to work with you. I could go on that walk in the park. It's like, I don't understand how guys, because this is what I was saying in the live. I'm like, if you put yourself in a bottom tier position by leading with your money and stuff, and she's just like, hey, give me, keep taking, and she's never reciprocating. It's like you just put yourself in an inferior position when you deep down, especially at a certain age, that there was a guy that he could damn near go and get a hot dog at a gas station. He knocking it down. So it's like knowing that people, if we dig into everybody's past, everybody done got a pass now, especially when you start getting up there in age, that they had that guy that he wasn't paying no bills. He wasn't taking them to no roof, Chris. And, he was still getting access. It's like, why would you put yourself in the paradigm, like at the very bottom, knowing that these relationships had exist in most people's past? So that's why it's kind of a mental illness, because it's just like, hey, instead of putting that money into myself and building myself up, I would rather just jump through them hurdles, dole out my money, and take this shitty position in life. So let me go ahead. I'm going to pull up the first video because one of the ladies breaks down the categories. I think she did a good job breaking down the categories of how women kind of place men and stuff. So again, like I said, this ain't, a lot of times back in the old days, people had to do the lives and they had to kind of just go off of what they seen. But when females are kind of just breaking it down for us, it's like, it is what it is. At this point, if you ain't accepting what they say, then you just delusional. But let me go ahead and play this.
Yes, women do put men into categories, usually moments after meeting them. It don't take long. First category, smashable. It means a woman likes what she sees. She's physically attracted to the man. Best way to get out of this category is to ruin it with your mouth. You're going to get yourself transferred right out the smashable category into the he's a jackass and I don't want to talk to him anymore category. Second category is a usable. He has money. I need money. I'm going to let him spend his money on me until he figures out that I'm never going to have sex with him. And however long that is, it's cool because I don't really care about him. Third.
So the second category, see, the first one was the attraction one. Like she said, unless you just say some off the wall shit, you good. Like it easy. There ain't too many hurdles there and stuff like that. You just don't talk yourself out of it. The second category that she's mentioning was usable. And that's the tricking category. And that's where a lot of guys is, because like I said, they don't have the confidence. They're not putting the time and effort to themselves. They automatically, when they leave with the money and stuff, they damn near push themselves into this category. And the attraction really ain't there. The female ain't feeling you. And typically when people first meet, she's still messing with that guy in that first group, the one she was attracted to. So this guy's spending money. Meanwhile, she's still messing with the other guy and stuff. And he's probably not doing the most dates. He's They probably next Netflixing and chilling. All the minimal stuff, like I said before, is so the guy that's like doling out all this money, he'll get some probably every once in a while and stuff. She's damn near sick to her stomach. She's making excuses not to be with him and stuff, but he's got to keep pumping that money out. So yeah, that's that's one of the worst categories to be in.
Third category is I don't need him now. I don't like him now, but he might be useful to me one day. So I'm going to keep him around. You say you have a landscaping company. That's dope because I have grass. You're a lawyer. Awesome because I don't pay my tickets. You got an auto mechanic shop. I have a car. And of course, the fourth level.
So the third category that she broke down, still a tricking category, but I like how she had like levels of tricking. So the first one was like trick elite, and then she had trick light. So he was still like, he could do favors and stuff, but he probably wasn't doing a dinner date. She probably kept him at a little bit of a distance, so his pockets get a break. But she'll pull him up from the reserves, like he's in a G League, trick G League. Then she'll pull him up to the next level to like probably spin and do more dates. Say like if she's bored or something. But meanwhile, the guy at the top, the attractive one that she likes, he's still busting it down probably. So but the other ones are for entertainment purposes. But she's about to get into the fourth. So here's the fourth category.
Lesser known category. I'm going to talk to him now to make someone else in the room jealous. Men do categories too. Women do it before sex. Men do it after. Same thing. So you guys are saying, what about the friend zone, Heather? Isn't that a category? They were all the friend zone. Don't you get that? It is a statistical fact that the more abs you have, the less friend zones you're in. So go do some sit-ups.
So yeah, that was just like one of the quick videos. I still got some couple other ones because they're gonna mesh together. So yeah, but that's when you hear it, and they're like I said, they're being frank with it. It's no more like hiding behind stuff. We ain't gotta do more guessing. I can see why people don't want to, accept it, and they try to like brush it off like it don't exist. Because like I said, if you're in that category, that would suck. But like I was talking to some people, I'm like, because I met this guy, he was saying he spends about $1,000 a month on dates. And I was just like, man, why don't you just go get a gym membership? Build yourself up to that point where, you got a little bit more confidence. You go get your wardrobe game up, meanwhile, while you're building your physical, it's also going to tie into your mental because, you start building your confidence up. But also, man, if I'm spending that, I could have spent that much money, man. I like spending money on myself. So I was like, man, how y'all not go get like a wardrobe, get flying and go out to like different places to meet females and be hollering instead of just like, you're fixated on this female that obviously don't like you like that. Cause I'm not saying don't spend no money on dates. Like it's all right to go on dates, but when you're doing stuff in excess for somebody that really don't like you and are making you jump in hurdles, that's where it gets stupid. So it's just like, man, you could put that time into yourself, especially them resources. And then, man, you could have a whole new wardrobe and like people are like, damn, okay, he dressed nice. He's getting in shape. He's got a lot of good attributes. You could possibly go out and track people and use your personality and stuff. But yeah, when you're doing that, man, that's where it gets sickening because it's just like you want to take the shortcut so bad. You're unwilling to put the work in on yourself. You're just resulting to shortcuts. So it's just like, if you think about it, like those females said, they's like right off the jump, we could put you in these categories. They know how to spot you. That's why I always tell dudes, I was like, man, a female could spot a victim across the room. Like they got binos. They like, oh, okay, I got me one over there. He's just staring me down. He looking all submissive over there and stuff. So they already got you spotted. So once they do that, they got you locked in. They already got you in that category and stuff. And then guys think that they could buy themselves out of them categories. So that's what happens with the tricking. So that's the mindset. They just like, oh, okay, she'll love me. She'll come around. She'll give me a little bit more respect, but it never happens because, she's still kind of attached to the guy that she said was at the top, that she was attracted for. Then if it finally doesn't work out, then maybe sometimes she'll settle for some of those guys. But then that's when, even if they get married to them, the sexless marriages, that's when, they're spending the guy's bread. They don't like them. They have a lot of disrespect in the relationships. So it just don't work. So that's why we always say you just got to get somebody that actually likes you. But you know, a lot of guys just they get fixated on the beauty, and then they just linger on, they hang on until like, you know, you see the stats when it's like 7 to 8 years in a marriage, the divorce happens, and then you know they grab their cut and leave, and then they go and get the guys that they attracted to. So it's a crazy cycle, man, that plays out. So let me pull up this next clip. So I've been seeing a lot of her posts, but she just gets straight to the point. She was like tucked in, laying down. She was like, "Shit, let me just shoot this video out to help." So let me.
Any man needs to know and understand this, but the number one way to know if a woman likes you is whether or not she has rules for you. Because I promise you, if she likes you, there are no rules, even down to her boundaries and all of these laundry lists of expectations that she supposedly has. For a man that she really likes, all of that crap goes out the window. Our common sense goes out the window. We just do whatever, say whatever. We're all in all of the time, immediately. We don't think about red flags. We don't think about any of that shit, because when we like you, we don't have to have all these rules and expectations and standards and all this crap. The only time a woman sets standards and all these supposed boundaries is when she doesn't like you, because then she can use those boundaries and those standards that are all fake as fuck as an excuse not to date you and not want to be with you and not want to do all of these things. It's all bullshit. Women will say whatever to make you think that she has, you know, all of these standards and she's not going to give it up and she's not going to be easy. But the minute that she likes you, like, you don't got to do shit. She's going to come to you. She's going to text you. She's going to cook for you. She's going to sleep with you. She's going to want to touch you. She's going to want to be affectionate. You could be in the same room playing video games for 6 hours and she's going to sit there on her phone just being in your presence, because there are no rules. And that's what ends up happening. The moment that she doesn't feel the same way, because her opinions are based off her feelings, and the way she feels about you only lasts so long up until the honeymoon stage, then all these rules come into play. All of a sudden she's bitching about you playing video games, or she's bitching about you staying out all night, even though when she first got with you, you were doing all the same things. Those standards and expectations change based off of her mood. Hope this helps.
Yeah, she looked comfortable as hell on that couch, but she was spitting some game. And yeah, that was kind of like what I was saying, and that's those up and downs that a lot of people experience, like when they like, oh man, you know, it changed, you know, there was lack of respect. It's because she didn't fuck with you from the start. So that's why it's just dangerous. And one other thing, just circling back to what I was saying before with like tricks when they spending that type of money out there. So they're thinking, like I said, they're thinking it's going to buy, you know, submission from the female. But, you know, once they cross that threshold of marriage and stuff, or they have a kid, you know, you locked in. So it's almost like a lot of people understand the legal system. So that's when they drop off. They're like, shit, I'm on a time thing now. Like this sucker got like 5 more years and I'm about to skate off with his paper. But what men don't understand, and I try to tell guys, I'm like, if you don't respect your own money and your time, you know, the female, she sees that. So that's why she gives them what they call them, like shit tests and stuff, that she's like, oh, you got to take me here. You got to do this for me. Cause like a lot of females, I see them saying like, oh, I wouldn't go on a coffee date. So a lot of guys will start conforming like, oh well, we could go wherever you want. That's your first act of submission. So she already knows like, oh, okay, this dummy and already conformed. So I got him now, you know, or, you know, if they're late and shit, guys tolerate it. Cause, you know, I was having a debate with some guy and he was like, man, if a female comes late, you know, you got to tolerate it a little bit. I was like, hell no. Nah. Cause I was like, if you don't respect your time and your resources, she damn sure ain't gonna respect it. And she's looking at you like, damn, okay, he don't respect his time. So I could run all over this dude. So nah, you don't tolerate that stuff. But it's the first act to see what they could go get away with. And a lot of guys fail that stage. And that's why they get trapped into bad relationships, because you set a cold boundary and it's like, man, you late. I don't play that. You have that conversation. So you address it once and they do it again, then you out of there. But they'll tolerate it because, like I said, they be infatuated. But I got one more clip. Then I'm going to get up out of here because I didn't want to stay too long. But like I said, I wanted to cover this because it's just too many guys getting duped out here. And it's like, all right, y'all, man, you can't be out here complaining and shit.
Spent money on you, she doesn't like you. Women, if she never spent money on you, she doesn't like you. Women spend money on men they like. A lot of y'all have been in relationships with women who have never opened their wallet for you. You haven't even gotten takeout. To them, you weren't worth spending any money on. That's a sad reality. If you think I'm a pick me for saying this, just know that you're a broke bitch. Just so we clear. Thinking you should never spend money on a man who spends money on you on a regular is insane. He's not beneath you. Y'all men better start learning your worth. You're spending all your money on somebody who wouldn't even buy you something to drink if you were thirsty. Some of y'all have not even gotten birthday gifts. How are you going out to eat for your birthday and paying the check? If a woman has never treated you, I really hope you get to experience that one day. You are not beneath her. She can spend money on you just like you spend money on her. If you're a boy mom watching this video, thinking to yourself, I ain't spending no money on no man, you must think that your son deserves to be in a one-sided relationship when he starts dating or if he's currently dating. How are y'all calling y'all sons kings and expect them to be treated like peasants when they start dating women? I would hate to have a son in this generation. A lot of y'all are raising young women to just be users. And you don't have to like what I'm saying out my mouth because this is my mouth and this is my page and I say whatever the hell I want to say. Of course you won't agree with somebody who's speaking logically.
Nah, she was dropping that game because that's a fact. Because, you know, a female that actually like you, man, she's going to be reciprocal and stuff. And she's, you know, she'll actually be concerned about your wallet. She'll stop you like, hey, man, you know, I don't want you. You don't always have to spend money on me. We could go over here. You know, she might recommend some spots that's like low cost. Like, man, I ain't about, you know, you always doing this stuff. So she would be concerned for you. And that's how, you know, you could spot a good woman. So a lot of these females that would let you just keep doling out money, you know, man, they just don't care about you. And like I said, if you don't care about your resources, they're going to use you. You an easy lick out here. But it just shows the level. Like they know off the rip. They're like, man, this dude is soft. Like I could take a full advantage of him. So some of them, like I said, they will marry you, but they're going to end up resenting you. And like I said, when it hits that point where they could cash out by the legal system, trust me, they leaving with your paper. Then they're going to go and, you know, get with the guy that they truly liked and shit. So you can avoid all this just by having awareness and understanding and stop lying to yourself. Put that work into yourself. Shit, get somebody that like you, man. Stop being infatuated with beauty. Because I always say, I'm like, these dudes, they want these beautiful women just so they could go get validation from other guys and stuff. And also, you know, I always had a smoke with the red pill because their whole philosophy, I used to tell them, I'm like, man, it's a trick philosophy. They'd be like, man, why you got issues with the red pill? Because, you know, some of your points, you know, aligns with ours. I'm like, some of the stuff is just basic truths that you should have learned in high school. But, you know, if your whole thing is just like get money and throw it at a chick and you don't never get no reciprocation, I'm like, I can't get down with no trick ass movement like that. I'm sorry. Like, I ain't trying to bash y'all, but yeah, y'all got to get y'all game right. Because, you know, I was one of the 50-50 dudes. They was all like, well, you're fit, friendly, and whatever shit they were saying. And I was like, nah, y'all got to get more requirements. That shit basic as hell. Them dudes, man, we'd be on the panels. They'd be like happy that they might get a sandwich from their chick. I'm like, man, y'all never been to fucking Subway? Like, if I want a sandwich, I'll go to Subway. I require more. I'm sorry. Like, I like smart women. I like women that work. Like, I ain't one of these like old school dudes that you just sit at the house watching soap operas and shit. I don't need nobody doing all that basic stuff.